True. সুপ্রিয় দর্শক, বিজ্ঞাপন বিরতির পর আবারও ফিরে আসলাম আপনাদের প্রিয় অনুষ্ঠান আজকের আলাপন। আজকের আলাপনে আমরা কথা বলছি বেঙ্গলি ওয়ার্কার অ্যাসোসিয়েশন তথা সুরমা সেন্টার নিয়ে, এবং 1973 সালে যে অ্যাসোসিয়েশনটি বাঙালি ওয়ার্কারদের নিয়ে কাজ করেছে, বাঙালি যারা ওয়ার্কার ছিলেন তাদের বিভিন্ন ধরনের সেবা প্রদান থেকে শুরু করে আজকে পর্যন্ত যেই বাঙালি যারা কাজ করছেন তাদেরকে সহ যারা আরো অনেক ধরনের সেবা প্রদান করে আসছে সংগঠনের নীতি নির্ধারকদের নিয়ে আজকে আমরা কথা বলছি যে সংগঠনের পক্ষ থেকে কমিউনিটি কি পাচ্ছে, কমিউনিটি কি নিচ্ছে, তথা এই সংগঠন কিভাবে প্রতিষ্ঠিত হয়েছে। আমরা আবারও চলে যাচ্ছি, আমার বিরতির আগে আপনার সাথে কথা বলছিলাম about this organization. Yes. What is the specialty of this organization?
Well, the speciality of the Bengali Workers Association is that since 1973, and it started, it's been helping out the Bangladeshi community to advance. First, it was language skills, and then there was a lot of racism faced by our community, so they couldn't go home because most of them work in restaurants in the night. So initially it was about supporting them to learn the language, making sure they're safe, then providing welfare rights advice, information advice, guidance, employment training courses, general training courses, work with elderly people, work with children, work with families, work with women, youth centre. So for me, it's on a personal level, it's done a lot for me, for my family. They were supported into housing for all of us. I think like we wouldn't be here if Shurma Centre hadn't supported us, and the Bangladeshi community in Camden is very grateful for the work that Shurma Centre has done for them and their family. And in terms of like what Nadia was saying earlier, is the progress that's happened within education within the Bangladeshi community. They're excelling now in Camden, and girls are achieving better than boys, so we've got a long way to go. But they're achieving, and Shurma Centre used to provide homework club support, youth centre, keeping them away from crime. You know, at the moment antisocial behaviour is big, but in Camden, you know, inshallah it's not as bad, and Shurma Centre has a youth centre that works with them, that the Bangladeshi young people don't get involved in it. So in terms of stabbing stuff, it's not the Bangladeshi community, it's other communities, and we'd like to think that Bangladeshi community has been supported by Shurma Centre to progress in a positive way.
Okay. For Bengali community in Camden, I can see the achievement of this community, the councillor, former mayor, and entrepreneur, and the director, and all of our, I can tell that this is the achievement, this is the success story for Bangladeshi community, for Camden. But in terms of the new generation, you know, in terms of new generation who is going to university, what I mean, Camden or Shurma Centre specifically, the association can offer?
What we do,
unemployment problems.
Of course. So we have an unemployment program at the moment. Unfortunately, the state is, even if you do achieve a degree, that you don't know if you're going to, because we were always brought up to say you must study to get a job. You know, now it's a bit because of what's going on at the moment, there isn't much hope for young people because they've studied, they've gone through the whole process, and there aren't many jobs around. What we do is we try and celebrate their achievements, and we also provide that employment advice and support to get them into employment, because we have a lot of links with partners that we've worked with in the past. We try and look at apprenticeships for them, and things like that, to build them up to get better employment later on, because sometimes it's like you've done a degree and you don't have experience. Some people have got experience but they reach a ceiling because they don't have the education. So what we want to do is have a package so people can reach their full potential.
Fantastic, good, very good. Samad bhai, at the chair, you know better what project you are running right now for the young generation, I mean, who already completed their degrees from university.
Well, what it is, the needs of the center or the community changes year by year. So the needs that we had in 1973, 1980, 1985, 1990, the needs has totally changed now. So the one thing that really I like or I enjoy and I feel very good about the center is when we do the elderly services. So there's lots of old ladies, aunties and uncles are isolated in their own environment. So when they come to the center 1 or 2 days and they find other people and they play and they do activities, they do exercise, they eat together, and that really, I feel very good when I see that, because I can see my mum in such a way. She's isolated, so if she needs to go out, either she has to get aid from me or my sisters. But and the Shurma Center provides that, where they can go and have that 2, 3, 4 hours of the day where they, amongst friends and just enjoy themselves. So that's one key thing I like at the moment. But there's other services still. We do the tuitioning services, so the after school club is free, but it's obviously funded by external bodies. We have the youth services, we do older men's older men's services.
I think we are repeating. আমার আরেকটা জিনিস আপনার জিজ্ঞানির লাগে আমার ভালো লাগে, বিকজ বাংলাদেশি কমিউনিটি যে সংগঠনগুলো আছে, আমি আমরা দর্শক যারা বাঙালি আছেন তারা বুঝবা এটা লাগে আমি বাংলা মাত্রাম, যে অনেক সংগঠন আমি বুঝলাম 1973 থেকে 2017 পর্যন্ত, ইটস লাইক এ 40 years. But still you are doing very well and you exist. Some organization not exist, already gone because of I don't know, probably it's for executive management and some problems. And will you see any problem for Shurma Center regarding the management, or anything will be happen in future?
Okay, so in our society, in our Bangladeshi community, we do go back and think all about the things we used to do, how it was in the backward. We don't have any forward planning. So, for example, just recently we have changed the constitution, where before there was big elections every 2 years. Total 11 people of the directors will go out and fresh new 11 will come. And when these drastic changes come into any organization, it destables this organization. So at the moment we've stopped that process, and we have a rotation where 4 directors will resign every 2 years and 4 new will come in. So and
that's how you will make new leadership.
That's right. You make more leadership, and the organization become more stable and more sustainable. And most of the organization are funded by external bodies like the council or National Lottery, John Lyons, and etc. Now, to tap into those fundings, you need to change your ways. You need to change the constitution. The funding
you
criteria.
Need to improve your activity.
Yes, so maybe Nasim Bhai or Nadia can tell you more about the funding and how difficult it is to get funding these days.
Okay, one more question for Samad Bhai. All of the organization, I think, our elders are running.
Yes.
But this organization, I can see so many young. I mean, you are chair. I think you are a very young person, and how does it make possible?
Okay, it is difficult, and as in Camden, we did want that change, and we did need that younger blood. So I was very lucky to be elected. I don't know how and why, but I got elected, and through our election and us being in there, we slowly, we have older people in the board as well, but we slowly.
And also you have women,
yes,
in your board.
No, we don't just have one woman, we have a few women in our board, yes.
Okay, and you are leading the rest of the women, am I right?
They lead in their own right. They're leaders themselves as well, in their own way, in different ways. I think they are proud
for you.
Of course, yeah, they're very supportive, and I support them. If we can share knowledge and experience to strengthen each other, we do. And in terms of our board, it's not just young people. We have quite a dynamic board in terms of women, men. We have people from the older generation, because everybody's got different skill sets and different things to give for the organization. So we try and get together and use all of our skills together. And I think the reason why the Shurma Center has been sustained over the years is because we have changed with the need of our community. And like Samad Bhai mentioned previously, we've changed with the needs of what's going on around us. We haven't just stuck to what we started off for, because those needs have changed.
Fantastic, yeah, that's a good thing. Nasim bhai, always pleasure to meet someone who is the first. I mean, the youngest mayor of Camden. I mean, you're former mayor of Camden, and you are also part of Shurma Center. And আমরা অনেক কিছু জানছি Shurma Center নিয়ে, but especially you are talking about the services they are providing. Yeah, because it's 40 years. It's already 40 years. Yeah. Do you have any plan for the future to celebrate your 40 years?
We haven't yet decided in terms of celebrating 40 years, but we have got big plans for the Shurma Center.
Okay.
So as councillors, both Nadia and I, we work very closely to make sure that the Shurma Center gets the right support from the council and the right funding. We've got plans for a new building. So you know, like the building's changed over the years. It started off as a porter cabin.
Okay.
It was like a box, you know, it's like no one really wants to be in it. And when I was going in the younger year, 76, it was a really small room. Now we have 2 floors. Now we've got plans to have even bigger space, air conditioning, much nicer, so our community can get the best. So that's our role, to make sure that we provide the best services, the best support we can. And as directors, we've got to make sure that we future-proof the organisation. You know, you were saying, why has Shurma Center still, why is it still existing? Charities are folding everywhere, closing down. It's very hard because of the funding cuts. But we've made sure that we have a good business plan, we've got a good vision. You've got to try and like make sure you go for the right funding. But in order to get the right funding, you've got to provide the right services. You've got to do the right research into the demographic of what are the needs of the community. You know, if you just provide a service that isn't needed, you won't get the money. So we've got a good vision. And because of the diversity of our board, it means that we have different skill sets within the board, you know. So we've got young people, older people, we've got councillors, we've got business people, we've got people that work within councils, we've got people from the mosque, we've got people from running restaurants, we've got mothers, we've got fathers, we've got a mixture of like, you know, people. So we then engage with the community as well to make sure that the community gives us their views and their ideas and the support, and we also make sure that we keep in touch with the funders and also what's happening in Camden, because everywhere in terms of services, the services have to support the needs of the community, and that's what we've got. We've got a business plan that is actually looking ahead. So inshallah we will celebrate, you know, 40 years of BWA, but I think what we want to see is that it lasts a very long time, that, you know, we can come back in another 50 years time and there'll be other people saying, congratulations, BWA is just growing from strength to strength, and that is our vision going forward.
Fantastic. That's definitely in 40 years, and you will be another 40 years.
Inshallah.
Probably all of us wouldn't be here, but yeah, next generation will carry on. Salik bhai seems very active person, and talking about the organization. And do you think Bangladeshi community, particularly Bangladeshi community, need the services you haven't provided yet?
Well, definitely, the Bangladeshi community needs services, and still I think, you know, more to be done. For example, say, you know, we are making effort consistently to provide the full service for the general population. Right? We are making every effort to meet the other needs of the community, such as, well, as I mentioned earlier, the welfare.
Do you ever organize any event like recognizing to?
We do organize events such as, you know.
Sometimes some center or some organization does.
No, we are working in
GCSE, LO.
Yeah. We are working in partnership with a number of different organizations in Camden, such as Asian Hopscotch Center, which is considered Nasim's manager center, called King's Cross KCB. A few other organizations, which is some of the he knows. I think we also work in partnership with the CAB as well, City Advice Bureau. And also, as we mentioned earlier, then we do organize events such as GCSE award ceremony. Sometimes we arrange open day just to show public that, you know, look, come and see what we are providing. We also seek the advice and suggestion. If you think, you know, something else can be done, please do put your suggestion forward. So we do arrange event as such, and also we do invite councillors such as Councillor Nasim, Councillor Now we are proud that we have 2 young councillors, and they were in a very high-profile positions. And Nasim used to be leader of the councillor. Nadia was the mayor. Now she's the lead member. So that's really, we're proud. Bengali community is proud of them. They have, achieved. They have gone that far. And they have the ability and skills to actually achieve. To get there. So there are things that as a chair Samad mentioned earlier, that we invite more young, talented Bengali, like Councillor Nadia said, the young graduate who left university with the qualification, master's or degree. Sometimes they are not in employment because they haven't the experience, but they have the skills, they have the knowledge. We invite them to become involved in Shurma Center.
Thank you very much.
And
join
the management.
We're going to a break. Thank you very much. সুপ্রিয় দর্শক, কথা বলছিলাম আজকের অতিথি তাদেরকে নিয়ে যারা বেঙ্গলি ওয়ার্কার্স অ্যাসোসিয়েশনের সাথে সংযুক্ত আছেন এবং বিভিন্নভাবে ক্যামডেনে বসবাসরত বাংলাদেশিদের সাথে কাজ করছেন। আমরা যাচ্ছি ছোট্ট একটি বিজ্ঞাপন বিরতির পর আবার ফিরে আসছি, আমাদের সাথে থাকুন।